starting our second song today. So we have transitioned from Horns of South, to the Grubwood. Here's a little bit of art about the Grubwood here, and some narrative, which is that the Grubwood is a vast and ancient forest on Avalon's southern coast, harboring a powerful force older than the weirdness. Its depths remain unexplored by humans, with attempts to settle the outskirts met with violent resistance from mysterious guardians. The forest is a natural barrier, its smoky essences marking its reach, and its influence is growing, posing a growing threat to nearby settlements. So again, Maeve, my character, her sort of main quest is to help people, the people of Avalon, sort of survive or even thrive in the weirdness. So this makes some thematic sense that she would be heading through the Grubwood, because it sounds like it's a sort of known threat to the people of Avalon. She landed here on the southern coast to Horns of South, and then came up about this direction, and then is starting to head into the Grubwood here, heading up toward location 31, which is this settlement up here, to see if she can help them out. So she, is an accomplished fighter. She's probably thinking she can move through the Grubwood here and try to, assess for any threats and help out. So that's what's currently happening. I don't want to change the camera because I got some feedback that it's kind of jarring last time, but the setup for the Grubwood is here on the table, and I'm coming in from the left side. So let me get there real quick. Go back to the Grubwood. Oh my goodness. There we go. Let me bookmark this so I don't lose track of it. So this is the layout of the Grubwood, and you have to, because I'm coming from the west side on the map, which I don't know if you saw before, but if you're coming from a certain direction, so it's coming from 24, coming into the west side, then based on the rules, you have to start on the edge there of the direction that you're arriving. So I'm here on the westmost. You can kind of see this L shape here. That's the middle of the table. It's all set out here. And we'll just get going. I'm going to pause for a second because I want to zoom in on the iPad and I want it to not be jarring. Okay, I'm back. I'm coming from this side. This might be a little bit reoriented. This game can be kind of a table hog, so it extended really long vertically, and I couldn't really reach this part of the board while still having the iPad and stuff to be able to show it closely to y'all. So imagine things have shifted 90 degrees, or 90 degrees. This way is east, that's north, that's south. So I'm still in the starting place. And the first step of what we do here, in the Grubwood, the weirdness is level 3, which is one more than it was in Horns of South. So I already drew, you're supposed to draw a d10 to figure out what the effect is of the weirdness. So I drew a 10 here, which is a ritual is designed to bring, a ritual intended to bring balance inadvertently summons the fog and its chaos, making every decision feel more fraught with peril. So it says, if you revealed at least one card of every suit in the play area, including face cards, gain -5 penalty to all resolution rolls during challenges and events. So that's pretty horrible. So basically, I'm interpreting that as if I am exploring through here, and if at any point I reveal all 4 suits, so the 1 cup, pentacle, I don't even remember the other 2, but if I get all 4 out, then from there on out, I will have -5 to all resolution rolls, which would be pretty horrible. So that's the weirdness effect that's going on in this wood. So the next step is to, let's see here, if you can all see the iPad. We discovered the weirdness effect. Now we go into assessing the tone. So that's what these 3 cards are. I've already drawn cards for this. So you essentially draw 3 cards to assess the amount and type of challenges based on the location. So if we go back to Grubwood, what's interesting here, I'm very interested to see how this, if this feels materially different in the type of events and stuff that I get rather than Horns of South, because as you can see here, first of all, of course, the weirdness is higher, weirdness level 3, but as you can see, the tone table says that there are a good amount of confrontations. 5 or up is 3 adventure cards, or 3 confrontation cards, and then exploration, but there are no intrigue events, or sometimes they call them influence. So these are usually the ones that involve you interacting with other people. So that kind of makes sense based on this description of a kind of like it's basically an unexplored forest that's taken over by weirdness and guardians with violent resistance. So not a very hospitable place. So the cards here, I got a 7 for exploration. That's going to be 3 exploration cards. I got a 5 for intrigue, but that doesn't matter, so that's 0. And then I got I got an 8. It doesn't really matter. I got an 8 for exploration and a 7 for confrontation. So both of those are going to be 3 cards. So this is the maximum number of events that I can get in here, which is not great because obviously events can, make things more challenging. And then I have 3 confrontation events as well, so more likely to get combat. So this will be a pretty tough journey through the Grubwood. Let's give this a try though. So this is one part I messed up last time. You're supposed to do them, you're supposed to declare which one you want to start first. I'm going to probably start with exploration again, just because I don't want any more combat. I did, I just went with, I think I was describing last time, I wasn't sure how much health I had at the end of last time, but I just went with what was there, which was 4. And so I did end up using one of my survival points to gain back 5 health. So I should be at 9 right now. And then I used 5 XP to regain a survival point. So I'm still at 3 survival points, and now I should have 9 health. So, going back to the Grubwood, I have to make a decision now of whether to start with exploration or confrontation. So I'll go back to the challenge resolution, and so I did this amount in types of challenges. Now I have to declare a challenge type, which one I want to do first. So I'm going to start with exploration, and then I'll go to confrontation next. So we're gonna just move ahead. The next part of doing this is right here. We reveal a card. So take these 3 D10 cards out of the way, shuffle them off to the side. But the first thing we're gonna do is reveal this card that I'm on. Let me go to the Grubwood in preparation of this. Here we are on the exploration table, and let's flip it over. So coming in to the west side of the Grubwood, oh my gosh, we're starting with a face card. If you recall, face cards are not even on this table of generic, or rather custom events for the area. These are general events that sometimes have a more elaborate effect. And let's go. So this is Page of Pentacles. I'm going to put this back in its correct orientation. So in this, Pentacles is coins. So yeah, here are the four suits that I need to not get all of. Cup, coins, swords, and wands. So I have to go to the general events table, which hopefully I can find quickly here. Let's see. I'm going to pause real quick while I find this. Okay, so found the discovery events here. So they are custom not to the location, but they are custom to the weirdness level. So we are weirdness level 3 here, which probably is not great. And we got coins. Oh, this will be fresh. So I had a Page of Pentacles, which for me, Pentacles is coins. So Page is Jack, and that is a menhir. Let's find out how that works. I haven't had that type of event yet. Oh, that's thematic. That's a menhir. Menhir, however you pronounce it. So here we go. Oh, these are called permanent events. So let's read this real quick. You can see the menhir has a star next to it, which indicates a permanent event. Once triggered, these events will always appear in the current territory, becoming permanent. Make sure to mark the triggered card, H for hideout, M for menhir, or S for settlement, on the card arrangement shown in the current territory entry page as explained in End of Song, signaling where it can be found in future songs. Only one permanent event of this type can exist in a territory. If at any point you trigger another one, the event ends without counting toward a success or failure. So it says event signaled. Oh, that's 2 stars. Okay, that's not me. So it is telling, hopefully this will work. Last time I had a hard time drawing. But basically what I'm supposed to do here is write, if I can get my pen to come up, I'm supposed to write M here. So that indicates to me if I come back to this at any point during this adventure, this will always be a menhir, which is kind of interesting. So I think menhirs are good, right? Let's hope. Sorry, discover events. So here's the little narrative. Fate seems to have put you in the path of this ancient magic-imbued statue resembling a four-dweller, which the weirdness has left untouched. Though dormant, it reacts to your presence. Could it be activated somehow? Great. Resolution is creativity way. I think Maeve's creativity is not the best. So it says 4 here, but I've already pointed out that these are wrong. I'm pretty sure that creativity relates to like communication, craft, etc. So I think Maeve has a 1. So this may be, unfortunately, one of those dang ones that is impossible for me to achieve. Let's see. Sorry, I keep going back here. Discovery events. Resolution roll, creativity way. If the roll is successful, you manage to revive it, though you can't quite comprehend how. Remove any weirdness effect currently affecting the song. Then turn the territory entry page and update its weirdness level, reducing it by 1. Next time you visit this territory in the current or subsequent journeys, all effects related to the weirdness will now be lessened, meaning any tables you look up related to it should now correspond to this new level. The effects of this event can't be replicated in this territory. When visiting in later, simply reveal its card. If the roll fails, you leave the statue be. The roll may be attempted when visiting the territory in a later song or journey. So basically, if I pass a creativity check, which I don't think I can, I activate this menhir, and then I would lower the weirdness from 3 to 2, which is kind of cool. And it would stay that way if I ever came back here, meaning the menhir had been activated. But I don't think I can do this. I'm pretty sure that it says for these ones that you always do 11 plus 4. 11 plus 3 for the event 11 plus act difficulty. So just for fun, to see how much I fail, I'll draw a card. And it is the Empress, a 3. So combined with my creativity, that's a 4, well under 14. Impossible for me to get 14. So basically, Maeve comes up to this menhir, probably like, obviously awestruck by it, but is not the sharpest tool in the shed, and she can't figure out how to relight it. So she just kind of marvels at it and moves on her way. And unfortunately, that counts as a failure. So that was the first event. So I have 6 to do. I'm gonna kind of skirt along the top side of this forest because I want to eventually head north to the settlement. So I'll go this way and activate the next event. And it is a 5 of Wands, and I'm well on my way to revealing every whatever suit, which would then hurt me quite a bit. So that's not great. 5 of Wands. Let's see what this is. So this is the second exploration event. We go to Grubwood again, and we have 5 of Wands. So here's Wands. We go down to 5. Prolonged exposure to the forest causes strange, unusual ailments. What? This is no good. So prolonged exposure to the forest causes strange and unnatural ailments, and it says a new branch-like limb appears. That's what that says. So apparently Maeve has a branch-like limb appear from the side of her body. Let's say, in the style of the Four Dwellers, which I think have like 4 arms, it kind of sprouts from the side of her rib cage as another limb. This is weird. No pun intended, actually pun intended. But it basically says that I have to choose a skill to relate to this. What makes the most sense? Well, let's look. I don't even know. Am I supposed to be resisting this or just kind of like dealing with the fact that a limb is sprouting from my chest? I'm going to say that it would be something like, I'm certain the thing that would be happening right now would be sort of shock and upset. So I don't know if there's a way around mental resilience, maybe something like inspiration. Let me look real quick at the different items here and see what they say. So inspiration is under, these are the different ways. Stances, skills, inspiration. Yeah, bravery and determination in the hearts of others, even through enacting one's authority, encourage solidarity, cooperation, face and overcome adversity, resist fear. Yeah, so that sounds right to me. So basically, she looks down in horror as a limb sprouts from the side of her and has to kind of resist the horror that's happening here. So inspiration, Maeve's inspiration is not too bad, I don't think. Inspiration is actually 8, so that's great. And this challenge is only 5, so I think I'm guaranteed to beat this because I believe it's 5 plus the act, which is 8. So I'm already at 8, so I'll just draw a card just for the heck of it. But Maeve's a badass and she can handle this. 5, so that's 13, plenty to overcome that. So she basically looks down at the limb sprouting from her side in horror, but she's seen worse terrors in facing her way through the weirdness. So she needs to get through this forest, so she just kind of plucks herself up and soldiers on. So that was my second exploration, and I'll move up here to third. And maybe after this, I'll call this video, because this will be the end of the exploration. Oh, another face card. And pentacles, wands, cups. Not good. One more suit, and I'll start having -5 resolution challenges. If you all want to see the art of this one, this is the Page of Cups. So let's see what this is. This is another special exploration event, which means it's also going to be very hard to resolve. Discovery events. Okay. Yeah, discovery events. So, right. Weirdness level 3. We were Page of Cups. Oh, not bad. Jack, medium treasure. Now the downside here is I have to use perception to try to get this, and I don't think Maeve's perception is that great either. Medium treasure would be quite nice though. So perception skill, let's see what Maeve's perception is. Please don't be 1. It is 3. So the exact same as, what did I do before that I failed? I don't even remember. It was something not great. Oh, creativity, which was 1. So 3, yeah, I can't, there's no way for me to do this. If I draw a 10, then I will have 13, which will be below the threshold. So this is kind of what I'm talking about. If you look at Maeve's skills here, we got healing, magic, travel, stealth, perception, craft. If there were a number of ways, then, reason, creativity, even 3, I think, is supposed to be awareness. All of those would just automatically fail on these more difficult checks where you're doing I think it's 11 plus the act difficulty. So 14 in this case. It's kind of not great. I mean, see what people say. Obviously, there's the idea you shouldn't be good at everything, but it just feels kind of not great to get to a challenge, a narrative challenge, and just be like, oh, okay, no, absolutely no chance I can do this. Like, I should be able to maybe spend a survival point to get some kind of bonus or something. I mean, this is a 10. I drew a 10, the best possible card, which plus 3 perception is a 13, and I need 14. So that's frustrating. Would have been a medium treasure too. So yeah, let me see. I think that's and you know, it's always nice to find a medium treasure or something, but it's not super interesting thematically. So, and how do I narratively describe her failing to perceive a medium treasure? You know, maybe I could say, I think it says in the description that it's like, oh, you see something like buried or in a tree or something like that. So tucked away under the floorboards and maybe buried next to a tree trunk, you think you spot something of value. So maybe she sees like a lump buried next to a tree and tries to dig it up, but it turns out that it's not actually anything valuable. Maybe it's just an animal buried some refuse there or something like that. So that would be failing. So those are the 3 exploration checks. They were relatively uneventful. The menhir was kind of interesting, but I failed on it, and then these 2 were automatic fails, even though they were interesting events. So yeah, that's the exploration. I'll probably pause it here and come back later.